Thank you very much. I'm very glad that I made it here. I'm based in Colombia. In Aragon, our team is totally remote. So I'm here today to talk about this next generation of business models and next generations of companies, organizations. I'm part of one of those. And so this is not going to be like a theoretical presentation. It's going to be more like the story of our experience in Aragon. How are we doing it right now with the technology that we have right now? So to start, I want to tell why are we here talking about next generation companies, next generation organizations, and the reason is because this is part of an ongoing evolution. So our founders in Aragon, they were very inspired by two papers. One paper was by Ronald Coase. He's a Nobel Prize. He wrote a paper called The Nature of the Firm. And the other person is a lawyer. He is Yochai Benkler, and he wrote a paper on the Linux and the nature of the firm. So Ronald, the thesis of Ronald Coase was that individuals, they organize their economical activities in two ways. One is joining companies and following the lead of a manager, and another way is by themselves in the market, following prices signals. And he said that in his paper, he concluded that people prefer to join companies because of transaction costs. It reduced the transaction cost at that moment. Then Yochai Benkler, he reviewed that thesis, and when he was reviewing that thesis, he was analyzing a new phenomenon at that time, and that new phenomenon was the open source software development. And he concluded that that new phenomenon was changing again the way that companies work, the incentive of the companies and the incentive of the people to join or not companies. And so with the open source movement, we had tens of thousands of developers around the world joining products and projects and collaborating. And the result of that movement was a super innovative and productive collaboration. And so people were not joining companies anymore. They were just following social signals and were responding to a different set of motivations. Today, we believe that the open source movement, together with the open blockchain, are changing those incentives again, are changing the way companies are operating again. And that is building the base of these new generations of organizations such as Aragon. So I want to just tell you the current characteristics of these new projects and organizations that are starting. So one of the, and these are common characteristics. The first characteristic is the organizational structure. So today, the blockchain technology is not mature, so we somehow need to operate. And that way of operation is through legal foundation. So in Aragon, for example, we have our foundation is incorporated in Estonia. And that foundation is the owner of the rights and obligations of the project. It's a non-profit organization. It serves like an umbrella and is responsible for the development of the project and is responsible for the funds of the project. So we had a token sale, a token distribution of the project in May, and the money we raised, it's under the ownership of the foundation. But the way we do it is like those funds are within a smart contract that we call it Multisig, and for the ones that don't know what a Multisig is, it's a contract that needs the signatures of 2 out of 3 people, 3 out of 4. It can have different combinations. In our case, is for any movement of the funds in that contract, we need 2 signatures out of 3, and the 2 signatures are the signatures of the founders, and the 3rd signature is the signature of another contract, which is, we call it the multi-signature, the community multi-signature. And so within that contract, we have participants of the community that we need to, in case of for example, a disagreement between the founders, they could help us to solve deadlocks, you know, and so this multi-signature structure right now is very important for us. Can you hear me? It's very important for us to provide security of the funds and to provide trust to the token holders. So in that way, it's not that the founders are going to be doing whatever they want to do with the funds. We, in the next couple of weeks, we want to make that multi-signature contract public. Right now it's public, and you can go to our repo on GitHub and link on the address and look at the different transactions. The problem today is that it's not like human readable and doesn't have a lot of description. So we are building a user interface so people can go there, click there, and look at in a web and see all the transactions that are coming out of that contract that has the funds of our project. And the description and the destination and the date. For us, open blockchains are about self-regulation. Transparency needs to be a must for these projects, and we want to lead that example. The foundation also, it's the, I want to say it in a way, it's like the employer of the core development team. And so we serve the foundation, and the foundation and the team, we are leading the governance of the project right now. So the foundation is like a kind of governance entity, a leader, and we have to take the lead on the experimentation of different governance models. And the research we want to fund, we want to use part of our fund as well to fund research on different governance models, different voting schemes, different channel communications for these projects. Another characteristic is the community. You know, today everybody talks about the community, the Bitcoin community, the Ethereum community. These projects, these new companies, also have communities, and that community is a super important part of our project. In Aragon, we feel that they are like extended part of our team. So they help us a lot, and they are the representation of the governance of the project. They are the ones that are going to own the future of the development of the project. Right now, we have to lead how would I say, we have to lead the way on how we come up with ideas to build up a participatory community. So I want to point out that a lot of the things that we are doing, nobody has done them, you know, so we have to experiment, and for that experimentation, we have to start off-chain. So right now, our network, the Aragon network, that I will explain later on, what it is. It doesn't exist yet, and it's not deployed on the blockchain, but we want to start working with the community for them to participate in decisions on the future of the project right now off-chain, without the need of being on the blockchain. And at the end, always having in mind that the end goal of this project is for that governance to be fully decentralized and fully on-chain, but we have to start somewhere. This is a step-by-step process. The token, and I want to point this out as well, not every project and not every product needs a token. However, a project such as Aragon, we are trying to build a network, and we want to build like a mini economy within Aragon. We really need a token. We need a token to use it as a way to incentivize, as a way to build up a viable business model for the network. And so the token enhances the economic incentive of the users of a product. And those users, they have ownership on the product. Those users, they are token holders. Another characteristic of the token is that it should be that the token is a very key feature of the product. It shouldn't be that it's only a mechanism to funding, and that's the case that we are seeing today. Projects without any product or without any business plan, just issuing tokens in order to recollect, to raise money and start building the product, and that shouldn't be the case. The case should be that the token has a key usage within the network and within the product. Another characteristic of the token is that it aligns incentive. And the traditional companies in the world today, sometimes the incentive of the participant, of the shareholders, of the management team, those incentives are not aligned. I saw it as a lawyer, corporate lawyer. This token, it's going to align those incentives. Everybody want the product to be used. Everybody want to increase the value of the token, to increase the value of the usability of the product. And so the result is that everybody will win at the end. The network. It's another characteristic of this project. What is the network in the case of Aragon? The network in the case of Aragon is a decentralized autonomous organization whose purpose is to act as a digital jurisdiction. We want to be a jurisdiction for companies to manage, for the management of these new companies, of these new organizations. We want to make it easy for investors, for entrepreneurs, and for organizations to operate within the blockchain world. That network is just a set of rules that are writing within the smart contracts. Those set of rules can be amended by the governance of the network. And the governance of the network, the holders of that governance are the token holders, the community. They are the ones that are going to take decisions on-chain when that network is deployed. We are planning to deploy the network, the smart contracts, on the blockchain next year. We don't have a specific date yet. And once that network is deployed, what is going to happen in Aragon is that right now the foundation have the funds that we raised in the token cell. Those funds are going to be transferred to the network. But again, this is a step-by-step process. It's not that we deploy the network today and tomorrow everything is decentralized. We have to try the technology. We have to experiment. We have to approach different models to find the most efficient model. And so in the most secure way, we don't want that things like the DAO happen again. So once this is deployed on the blockchain, we are going to continue with our method with our off-chain method. So at some point we will have off-chain together with on-chain governance, but also, like I said before, with the end goal on our mind of this fully decentralized on-chain governance in the future. What else can I say about the network? Yeah, the network is going to provide initially mainly 3 services to the participants in the network. The first service is the ongoing development of the core smart contracts of Aragon. Those core smart contracts are the contracts that the DAOs need to run on the blockchain. The second service is a decentralized court. We cannot eliminate the human element of this new technology, and problems are going to arise. And we want for the organizations to have an easy way to solve those projects, or at least a more easy way and more dynamic. And the third service is the upgradeability of a smart contract. Everybody knows that when a smart contract is deployed on a blockchain, it's immutable. So however, we found out, I mean, the community as a whole, of ways of updating those contracts. So we are going to provide those services for people that don't want to get better with the technology. And to close, so what is our mission in Aragon? Our mission in Aragon is to provide the tools for this new generation of projects to manage those projects. We want to build the tools for those projects to use it to manage the teams, their funds, to manage the governance within the projects. So today we have decentralized, semi-decentralized projects that are focused on a different thing, are focusing on prediction markets, are focusing in decentralized exchange, are focusing on decentralized marketplaces. We want to provide the tools for those projects, for the governance of those projects, and for the management of those projects, so they can really concentrate in their mission and their own mission. And for us, it's super important. I mean, the first stage we are going to, our target is blockchain projects, this new kind of organization. But in the future, we want this technology to be usable by anyone, even if you understand or don't understand blockchain or smart contracts. We really believe that in the future, people are going to be using open blockchains, are going to be using tokens, even if they don't know how that works. And yeah, the one last thing. So the fully decentralized autonomous organizations are coming. The technology is not there yet. We are on the process of making it. And I want to close the talk with a phrase of a quote of Naval Ravikant. He's a tech influencer in America, and he says, Law follows society, society follows technology, technology follows science, and new science will create fully decentralized autonomous organizations for governance, for prediction markets, for decentralized exchanges. We will see that happen.